Military Mom Talk Radio. We know behind every soldier, sailor, airman, and Marine is the family supporting them. With over 200 episodes in 17 countries, over 5 seasons, with 3 million monthly listeners, we are radio strong. Now here are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, Military Moms, this is Sandra Beck, and I'd like to welcome you to a special episode of Military Mom Talk Radio, brought to you by K12.com. We'll be visiting today with online teacher and music artist Sierra Rose, as well as the head of IQ Academy Minnesota, Teresa Gallagher. I'd also like to introduce my special guest co-host coming over from our sister show, Military Network Radio, Linda Crater, because together we are better to serve our military families. Hey, ladies, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, girls.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
It's so nice to have you on. We are just so delighted to be able to talk about how IQ Academy Minnesota has really seemed able to allow both teachers and children to pursue their educational dreams, but also to give you flexible options that make life really interesting, such as Sierra. So welcome, Sierra.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, now you're a teacher at an online school. What does that look like every day? I mean, do you get to go to work in your pajamas and
that's exactly what it looks like, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I mean, I get to wake up in the morning, get ready briefly, not as long as my friend here, but I get to wake up and start my day at home, which is beautiful. I love it.
Well, and it seems to me that I know, because I work out of my home, I can give my clients and my kids so much more attention because I'm not having to commute. I'm not having to get dressed. So all my energy focuses on what I'm doing or creating for the day.
Yeah, totally. I think I enjoy being able to wake up and dive straight into what needs to get done instead of kind of fussing with myself too much and worrying about this has to get done and this has to get done before I get out the door. So that's really fun.
Well, it's a lot less stressful. I can imagine. I mean, because I know I went to open house last night with my kids, and I have elementary school age kids, and I love these teachers, Sarah. I think there's something special that happens when people choose to educate children, and it's such a stressful job on a good day. There's managing so many things. So to put you in a position where you can really be creative, you can really be rested and help these families, because they have some specific conditions. The military family has specific conditions they have to deal with that civilians don't.
Yeah, definitely. I think that it's just a great privilege in this format. Yep, definitely.
Sierra, I would love to know what the feedback has been from these families to you about the ability to work flexibly and to really enjoy their schooling and go into their passions as well as the educational straight subjects.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think what I love about our program is that anything that provides an alternative to traditional brick and mortar is going to help a lot of students who just don't fit that mold or that type of routine. Mm-hmm. And so definitely families do express how happy they are to have this option. And the flexibility, of course, is beautiful in the schedule, and that they can really structure the day in the way that suits the student the best. And sometimes that's not right away in the morning, and sometimes they need to spread it out throughout the day in a different non-traditional sense. And I think that's a really great alternative for them sometimes.
Well, especially if you have medical appointments to go to. Right. I know when my mom was being treated for breast cancer, I'm a single mom. I'm trying to get my kids to school, the doctor's appointments. It was impossible.
Yeah, we definitely do get a lot of families who are here for that reason. And and then of course, being that it's a flexible format, they can look at different options in their area. They can go and structure their day to do an outing or to do a trip somewhere as a family, and they can work with me to have that flexibility in their schedule. So that's really nice.
You know what I love is that oftentimes people think that the curriculum is simple, easy, do the things that you love, but not get the core subjects. This academy is actually quite rigorous, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I would say so. And I think that's a big misunderstanding that I think a lot of our families have sometimes when they come in, is they don't know how rigorous it actually is until they get in there and start doing it. And I think some of them are pleasantly surprised when they realize that their student really is being challenged effectively, and sometimes more so than what they may have gotten in their local brick and mortar school. So I love our curriculum. I think that it's super effective, and I've heard a lot of positive feedback too from families on that.
Now, what is it like from a teacher standpoint? Do you have your curriculum? Do you give lectures online? Like, what does it look like from your end? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, so I do kind of a combination of a couple different types of interactions with my students. Their at-home experience is they go online and they have their schedule set out for them. They have a daily plan and they know exactly what needs to get done throughout the day. And then built in that schedule, we also have our connections scheduled. So they'll either have a one-on-one with me, which students would do on a weekly basis. And then we also have live class sessions for grade levels. So I would do a session with all students together, and they would have that in-class experience with their peers.
Teresa, as head of school, you must be very intrigued when you have such talent in a teacher that is both educational, but also musical and artistically. When you're looking at being able to satisfy your teacher's needs too, so that everyone is really passionate about what they do. I'm wondering how you came to know Ciara and how you feel about being able to pursue both education and dreams at the same time.
I met Ciara, just in the office. We do have an office area where teachers can come in and work here as well as out of the home. So we have that available to them. And we just built a friendship from being able to see each other in the office once in a while. And I love creativity too. I was a past art teacher. So I think it's important that teachers are able to include their creativity within the curriculum, within the teaching method, on their online sessions. And Ciara does that. She does that, using music and she's able to promote her own music, maybe not, in the classroom, but through different venues within our school and with our community. And she's really good at being able to provide opportunities for students to show their creativity as well.
Love that. So tell us a little bit about IQ Academy Minnesota. How many students? How is it connected with K-12? And what do you see as some of the great benefits?
We have about 650 students. We have a continuous open enrollment. So we have students that come in at all times of the year from different situations, leaving brick and mortar, different online schools. If they're a military family, they may be coming from a different state. They move to Minnesota, and then they can come here to IQ Academy. I see the future of IQ Minnesota moving in more in a direction of offering different options for part-time students as well as full-time students. We do have a lot of, in the older levels, electives that you might not be able to find in brick and mortar because of cuts to budgets.
Well, that's one of the things that I find, I'm originally from the East Coast and I lived in Minnesota for a while, and now I'm in Southern California, and the curriculums are being cut down, music and art, and everything is dwindling in the public school arena. And I'm torn between these two opportunities, but I look at the offerings at your school online, and these are great courses for kids. I would have died in my little, farm town in Buffalo to take some of these courses. Can we talk about some of those programs that you have at your school?
Sure. It depends on year and how many teachers we have to teach the thing, but we do offer a lot of foreign languages in some years. Some years we offer Chinese. In the elementary, there's the ability to take Latin if you would like, and a lot of elementary schools offer no languages at all, and I think that's really important for kids to be able to have some choices, or families to have choices in what they're having their kids educate them with.
Why do you think online schools serve military families so well? What are some of the benefits that you really see happening that give these children so many options and opportunities, but also raise their passion for learning?
There's a lot of mobility, and I think we can offer that consistency, even if you're within the state or throughout K-12 throughout the country. I think the mobility issue, it would be important to them. I also think the flexibility, the timelines are different for families. In the military, you might not be able to start right away at 8, but maybe you will be able to start at 10 in the morning. Or brick and mortar, you're pretty much set on your schedule.
I love that these options are available to people. And I think it's not well known that you're out there, because with homeschooling options, pressure falls onto the parents. But with this option, they're allowed to be the parent because you're the educators. So we just want to mention that if you want more information, go to k12.com and find out more. And then if you're in Minnesota, you would go to mn.iqacademy.com. So let's talk a little bit about Sierra and your wonderful song called Civilian Song. What inspired you to write that?
The song idea came out of a discussion that I had with a friend who was being deployed, and he had seen me singing in church one Sunday, and he asked me to send him any recordings or projects that I might be working on while he was gone. And it just struck me at that time that I had to get him something while he was gone. And I actually decided that right then and there that I was going to have to write him a song. And so I developed the idea more, and I had actually, it was so weird because I had heard the melody, the main chorus of the song one day driving in traffic. And I thought, well, that was kind of a cool idea. And I just get weird song ideas all the time. And I never took them seriously. But as I looked at this task that I set out to do to write him a song, I guess I started to sit down and really develop the idea. And I thought it would be so much more meaningful if it came from more than just myself. I mean, I thought it'd be kind of lame if it was just me singing on a video, and how much better would it be coming from other people who shared the same sentiment of gratitude. And so that's kind of how the idea started, and it turned kind of into a life of its own. Yeah.
Well, and how did you get a lot of the footage in your video? I mean, you got great troop support video and images.
Yeah. So once I had this idea, I started to discuss it with my community. I started with my church. I started with local representatives. I contacted like Amy Klobuchar, like all kinds of people to see who might want to be involved. And there were so many people who expressed interest. But when it came down to it, the community just really grabbed onto it. And I was able to get almost everything for free. People donated the lighting and the video work, and I did, and then for the things that did cost, actually there were people who financially donated for it too, a couple churches, and their credits at the end actually of the people who helped kind of flip the bill for the costs that were involved. So it honestly became a community project at the moment that I started to invite people to join me.
I love that. So you found supportive, but your teachers, it begs the question. You're a teacher at an online school. You're a wonderful singer, clearly, and we will listen to your song later in the show. But how did you get into songwriting?
Yeah, well, it's funny because this project actually kind of gave birth to the whole thing for me. Like I said, I get random song ideas all the time, and I never realized how many I get until I started to write them down and to really pay attention to them. But once I did this project, I thought I wanted to take it more seriously, and it gave a lot more meaning to my songwriting, and I just love it. I enjoyed the process, and so it was after this that I kind of decided to pursue songwriting more, and I moved towards developing my first EP, which is like a mini album that I put out a couple years ago. So.
Well, I got to just go back to your video for a second here. And what I really appreciated, this is, something that was meaningful to me, and I know it would be meaningful to others. You have also first responders included.
Yes.
Police and fire, and so many of our military leave, or they moonlight, they do multiple, things, but so many of our military moves into the first responder after their military career. And I thought that was particularly nice. And I loved the stadium shots. Was that at your local football stadium?
That was, yeah. So that was the Fergus Falls not Fergus Falls, Alexandria Jefferson High School. I asked if we can use their grounds, and yeah, got a couple hundred people came out and helped me sing the song.
That is so wonderful. What do your students think about this song and your songwriting and this addition to being a teacher?
Yeah, my students, I get a lot of enthusiasm from them, and their parents. I try not to advertise myself too much in the classroom, but I do have families who kind of stumble upon what I do, and I get a lot of fun feedback from them. I think the best opportunities I've had with students is when I've been able to invite them to like a live performance. I was able to join the Fergus Falls choirs locally and help get them to come sing it live for me. And those live experiences are really wonderful, and it allows me to encourage students, whether they are able to join me live or whether we have a conversation about the videos that I've done. It allows me to encourage them to try and use their talents, whatever they are, to bring value to other people's lives, and that's an important message for me, and it's been a lesson for me. So.
Well, adding value to people's significance in people's lives. Teresa, I'd love to know what the effect was at the school. How supportive are the teachers at IQ Academy Minnesota? And obviously you are very supportive. Talk about that a little bit.
Everyone is really super supportive of Sierra. We all encourage her to pursue her music career and, stay teaching with us though. And she has done live events here at the Fergus Falls School District that we're connected with. So that's our partner. She has performed at the local, I think it was Veterans Day program, and IQ teachers were there to support her as well as myself. And we're all very hoping and wishing and expecting the best from her.
Well, and I'm going to share something. I grew up in a real small town like Fergus Falls, and when I was going to school, I saw a football player who had come back and he had a Super Bowl ring, and that was such a big deal in Buffalo, and I never forgot that. And he said something about, if you just try, everybody you see on, TV and movies and everything that they're doing out there, they started just like you, and that's what really resonates with me with Sierra, because we're going to see her students and the people that she touches, even in the community, the brick and mortar schools, everywhere. She's pursuing her dream, and that gives all these kids, online and otherwise, permission to go for their dreams too.
Absolutely.
I gotta say, like, I think I really love the opportunity to encourage students to pursue, like, to grow themselves individually, and our program definitely is conducive for that, starting with how to be a good student, and but then to move into different avenues for themselves and whatever they are. And so it's really fun to get to do that on this side of things as a teacher as well, and try to do that.
You're talking about growing students. You're not only doing that with your song and with these efforts to sustain their creativity and to raise the bar on education, because we talked about the rigorous curriculum, you're also teaching them to be good citizens, and you're raising awareness with your song. Have you found that has resonated?
Yeah, I think those are the kinds of things that I feel like the song became more than me, a lot more than me, because people were able to draw meaning from it that is so beautiful, and I'm so glad I get to be a part of it. And I think the cool thing about it is that it gives people an opportunity to express gratitude in a way that I think they don't know how. And when they do that, like when they grab onto the words and sing them and do it, they feel connected to the larger community, and they feel like better citizens, I think, when they do that, which I hope anyway that the video and the song captures, and I definitely feel it when I'm with people and I sing it.
I know that the school does socialize with the children, and I'm just curious, do you ever sing your song at the prom or at graduation or anything that is public along with the school?
Yeah, so I've sang it for our veterans program most recently, and I've sang it for actually a few other occasions with surrounding community schools, and then actually there's been every year, there's Memorial Day and Veterans Day, and people really want the opportunity to express gratitude on those days, and they don't know how. And I think I've been invited to participate in events that surround those holidays, and so even this year I have some really cool calendar events that I'm looking forward to with State Fair and with Camp Ripley. And I'm still continuing to plan local projects here in town in Fergus. So
now, Sierra, before we listen to your song, can you tell me what do you want people to take away after they listen to your song? What do you want them to think or feel? What's in it for them?
I think again, it's just that opportunity to tap into the emotion of gratitude. I think, like, as far as our servicemen and women, they say that love, the opposite of love is not hate but indifference. And how can we show that we really love these people and that we honor them? And I think that this gives people like a really tangible way to connect with that message and to express it. And so I think there was a time I look back and I thought, I don't know how trendy this song is. I don't know. But really, when you sing it, like, it compels you to say, stand up, say it louder, say it prouder. And when people say it and when they do it, you feel connected to that message. And I think it connects you to the community, and it connects you to what our servicemen and women are doing. And I love that. And I love the way that I think that they feel honored in being seen and heard.
Well, we thank you for that. And we want to thank K-12 today for their involvement in today's show. So as Linda said, open enrollment, k12.com. If you want to know about the Minnesota School, it's mn.iqacademy.com. Now, we're going to listen to Ciara Rose's song right now. It's called The Civilian Song, and you can go on YouTube and find it. And you can also find you on Facebook, right, Ciara?
Yeah, it's you can find my artist page and it is there. I think YouTube is a great way to find it. Ciara Rose Civilian Song.
Great. Well, let's listen. And thank you, Teresa Gallagher, also for being on today's show. We're going to take a listen now to Ciara Rose and her creative work, Civilian Song.
To the soldier who's been gone for so long, we've been here cheering you on with our civilian song. Never once has this been in vain, and we will never forget the names of all of those who freely gave for freedom's cause. Oh, the things you must have seen, the things you must have done, the things you must have lost, in all the battles you have won. For such a heavy price, we just want to say thank you for the sacrifice. To the soldier far from home, whose fearless strength carries on, may these words keep you strong in our civilian song. Oh, things you must have seen, the things you must have done, the things you must have lost, in all the battles you have won. For such a heavy price, we just want to say thank you for the sacrifice. So we will stand up, everybody say it louder, everybody say it louder. God bless the USA. So we will stand up, everybody say it louder, everybody say it louder. I love the USA. The things you must have seen, the things you must have done.